Okay, I think I'm recording. I have a couple of questions from students. The first one, and today is the 10th of June. We're in chapter 3 and 4. I may lecture on 4 later just to get it out of the way and maybe work on problems next Monday instead of lecturing. But we'll see. I need to get through 4 and 5 pretty quickly. Anyhow, Asia, I hope I'm not just crushing your name. I think that's the way to pronounce it. I'm forgetting which assignments weren't necessary this semester. When I started the semester, I think I showed you a syllabus um, in our first meeting and said, don't worry about these two smart books and need to know, just do the interactive presentation. So your question is which ones to get rid of? It's these two, these two, smart book and need to know, those first two. And let me show you where they are in McGraw Hill, just so you remember. Just because they take up so much time, uh, and they're, I think they're a great way to learn. I suggest you do them, like I said. And hopefully, I think I have the whole course put up here for those of you that like to work ahead. Yeah, it's up 5:15. Oh no, not, it's not all up. So I should put up chapter 5 and chapter 6, that kind of 5 quiz. And you can see when you look at these, like chapter 3, smart books, interactive presentation. So those two, right? Let me go back to that. I think I put that in an announcement as well. I can't remember if I did or not. Welcome to class or something, but maybe I didn't. But anyway, those are worth 5 each. So go ahead and don't worry about them if you can't get to them. Smart book, interactive presentation, and if you can see here, smart books. They're hard to grade anyway. I can't put a number in there, so it works. It helps. Okay, I hope that's cool. And then let's move on to another question. I believe I had another question from Kimberly. I can't remember who. And I'm going to remember right now, and I'm going to be embarrassed, but that's okay. Diana. Diana said, could you do 9 to 12 on 9 to 12 on chapter 3 homework? We didn't get all the way through 9 through 12. So I'm going to open up chapter 3 homework. And I'm just checking to make sure I'm recording. And I am, and it looks like my microphone is working. So let's go in here. Now, again, this chapter 3 is what wraps everything up. So, I hope you're getting after this. 9 through 12. Let's go. I think I made it to 8 in class, and then we were out of time. Okay, so 9. Here's an unadjusted trial balance. Now remember, where are we? Let's go accounting cycle. Remember when we stop the music in accounting, we go through this cycle, and it's every time. Let's try this one. See if it's easy to see, right? Identify, right? This is the source documents, analyze transactions, journalize, post to the ledger. Then for unadjusted trial balance. So what we have here is an unadjusted trial balance. And then eventually we're going to go to making the adjustments, right? Adjusting entries, number 5. And then we have an adjusted trial balance. And then we do the financial statements and then make the closing entries and do some reversing entries if we want to, if they're not done electronically or whatever. All right. So again, we're in this unadjusted trial balance. We have debits and we have credits. We've counted up all of our debits and credits from here, from the ledger, the balances that are in the ledger. Okay. So in this case, Ace Construction, and here are the adjustments. Adjustments at the end of the current fiscal year, total 3,300. Now I want to see, can I write on here? What can I write on? A whiteboard. Oh, I'll bet you that I have, do I have a whiteboard here that I could, I know I did this before. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Boom. And I think I have one. Well, I'll figure it out. In Windows, I wanted to see if I could do this. Windows ease of access, PowerShell security. No, I guess not. I'm sure somebody's like looking at this and going, God, it's so easy, Jim. There's Word, Zoom, da-da-da. What's this? Hang on, picture saying no. I think I did one. Well, I'll figure this out for next time so that I can draw some things. But anyhow, what you're going to want to do in this is make some T accounts like I did on here, right? And I just do it on paper, and I always have some scratch paper laying around to do it. So in number 9, you've got this unadjusted trial balance. We're going to make some adjustments. So supplies at the end of the current fiscal year total at 3,300. Well, what do I do there? Here's all of our tabs. Requirement 1, prepare a 10-column worksheet for the current fiscal year, starting with the unadjusted trial balance and including adjustments using the above information, right? So supplies, 9,900, and you see here, 3,300 is where it should be. So what's the adjustment? 66. 66 and 33 is 99, right? 66 and 33 is 99. So our unadjusted trial balance, we put all those numbers in from here, right? 132, all that stuff in from here. Looks exactly like that, 278, 710. And then we start making our adjustments one by one. Cost of expired insurance is 3,800. So where do I go? Here's insurance, 72, 3,800. So what's the adjustment? 3,800 is the adjustment. That gives you 34 left. 72 minus 38 is 34. And then we go to the next one, annual depreciation, 84. Depreciation, 8,400, right? We have equipment, 28,250, and that makes it worth 34,650. That's the adjustment, right? To the accumulated depreciation. increased by 8,400. And remember, that's that weird kind of contra account. See, here's our piece of equipment. This is the piece of equipment, this 132. It's the piece of equipment, whatever it is, I don't know, it's a drill press or some crazy thing, right? Giant one. It's a $132,000 piece of equipment, but it's been sitting around and it's been being used, having been used in the past tense, having been used for a number of years. It's $8,400 per year, annual depreciation. Straight line. I assume they're using a straight line method, right? Which of course is price minus salvage value divided by number of years of service. So we increase that accumulated depreciation. Hooray, right? Hooray. Accounts payable, and you just go down through these one by one by one. And then we have income statement and balance sheet. This is just a matter of knowing what goes where. So hopefully I don't have to explain too much more of that. I think hopefully you can see it. Now, the income statement is revenues minus expenses. Here's our revenues, right? Construction revenue, 132,000. Here's all our expenses right here. And then I think there's some dividends in there or something. Nope, it's just all expenses, right? All expenses. So that all went in that income statement. It's not a statement of owner's equity, so there's no dividends in there. Okay, and then balance sheet. We've got both sides of the balance sheet. We got cash, supplies, prepaid insurance, accumulated depreciation on this side. The piece of equipment there. And then on the credits, we have all these things. And remember, retained earnings go in here because on a balance sheet, it's basically assets on one side, liabilities and owner's equity on the other side. It mimics Pacioli's equation. So there it is. If something didn't balance down here, go back to the chapter. It'll tell you what to do. Whether you put a debit or a credit in the wrong place or just made a math error. Okay. So what's 2A? Prepare the adjusting entries, right? So in this question, you'll be going back and forth to this one, as you do these other things. 2A. Here's all the adjusting entries that I already talked about a little bit. Insurance, property taxes, right? Okay. And here's prepare the closing entries. First, remember there were those 4 steps in that wonderful. I can even open up chapter 3, but in that stack, it showed you how to do it. It had a great. Let me see. Maybe I'll open it for you just cause. Let's go in here. Let's go in here again and open up another McGraw Hill so I can show you that. I don't think I need that anymore. Let's go to my Connect. And I'll go to the library. That's how I do it. You have the instructor resources in your in that Word doc. PowerPoint presentations, there they are. Let's go to chapter 3, just for funsies. And let me show you where that is, just so if you're following along at home. And it's opening it up on the wrong side. I'll put it over here. I have my 2-screen operation going here. So closing entries, as you remember from this graphic, here they are. The 8th out of 9 things here. Check out our new look. It scares me. Sign in to set up office. No thanks. Use sign in. Should I sign in? Oh, don't make me sign in, will you? coloradomtn.edu. Sorry. Okie dokie. Should be all right now. Hopefully I take my credentials. The same for you too. You know, use your credentials, and you're in. You know, you are when you have an EDU credentials, you get our version of Office 365. So let's get over to closing entries. Here they are. Oops, let me put this over here. So here's closing entries, right? Resets revenue and all this. And it had this neat little 4-step process. One is the revenue accounts, consulting revenue and rental revenue in this case, get closed into the credit side of the income summary, and the debit side gets all the expenses. So this is the PowerPoint I liked, or the graphic that I liked. So here's what it looks like in the journal. Prepare the closing entries. So we credit income summary, just like we said, right? And debit construction revenue. So we're getting that temporary account out of there. Income summary, debit 101,000 of expenses, and here they all are from our previous tab. We can find them. We can find them here. Here's all our expenses. We made payables out of them, right? Here they all are, right down here. Here's all the expenses. Okay. So that makes sense, I hope. Income summary to those, and then we close income summary to retained earnings, and then we take out the dividends, right? Retained earnings and dividends, 33,000. Wow. What's next? An income statement is next. That's what that looks like. You should take that right off your trial balance, right off of this. You can grab that income statement right off of there. All your information is there. That's why this worksheet can be so handy. I think I did that. There's the income statement. Again, the balance, retained earnings. There we are. And then I think a balance sheet. Yeah. That should do it for that one, I hope. I'll let you look at that or stop the tape as you might. And then we have this one here, which is the balance sheet. You know, assets, current assets. I hope I covered what Ms. Oh, I got rid of my email. But let me see who was that. I've already forgotten. Boop. My email, Diana, Ms. Escalante, and that I hope that covers it. In chapter 9 pretty well, and hopefully you're just struggling with getting all of these entries in there. Total liabilities, total current. And we've got current, and we've got current assets and total assets, current liabilities, non-current liabilities, down here, common stock and total equity. I hope that helps. Okay, that's 9. This is a tough chapter. This is the toughest chapter homework-wise because you're pulling it all together. So this is an adjusted trial balance. So we're further along. We've made our adjustments, right? So we're here in 6. In the idea that the music stopped and we've done all these different things to figure out what happened in the last period. This is December 31st. Required here, prepare an income statement, retained earnings, classified balance sheet, prepare the closing entries. Okay, so you've got this data up here. Cash, office supplies, all this cool stuff. So remember, basically, if this was a worksheet, you'd be ready to do your statements, right? Your financial statements. So revenues here, services revenue 144,350, and then all of our expenses line up like that. Total expenses, net income, there it is. Retained earnings, 30 years, the prior year. Let's see, do we have prior year retained earnings? How do we get that? 36,000, right? Read the question, right? 36,000. Our net income was 75,000 from here. 75,950. They're just trying to get you to tangibly see the relationship between these different statements, right? So the statement of retained earnings, 75, we've got that makes 111,950 minus the dividends of 19,500 gives you a retained earnings of 92,450. 1C is the balance sheet. You can see assets at the top, liabilities, equity, right? So we're on a roll. There we go. Let me see if I get the whole thing in there so you can stop the tape and look at it. Cash, office supply, PPI. And we do this in order of liquidity. Cash, the most liquid. Prepaid insurance, the least liquid. That may not always be true, but it's usually true. So plant assets down lower. Equipment, accumulated depreciation, that contra account on the equipment. Don't forget your parentheses here or your minus sign. I think it lets you do a minus sign. I can't remember. But you're going to subtract that out to get the real value of your equipment. That may throw people off in a format kind of a way. Just a gosh darn it, what's going on with the software? Making you crazy. So look that over. Accounts payable, wages payable, and liabilities. Those are your payables. And then total current liabilities, 14,100. Common stock, 15,000. Retained earnings, 92,450. And 107. Where's the 92,450 come from? 36. Oh, that comes from here. 92,450. And it goes, right? And then finally, these are the closing entries. Remember, credit, debit your services revenue, and credit your income summary, and vice versa for the expenses. And then you had some dividends, 19,500. All right. Hopefully that one wasn't too crazy for you. 11. Oops, there's my phone. And let me just tell him I'm going to call him back. Hey, let me call you back. I'm recording.
Later.
Yep. So Gomez Company had the following transactions. And so what do we want here? Prepare entries under the method that initially records prepaid expenses as assets and record unearned as liabilities. Also prepare adjusting entries at the end of the year. Unearned revenues as revenues. This is just a different method. I don't like this, but I should have got rid of this question. But anyway, it's there and it's simple enough. It's just a different methodology. So look at how they did it. Unearned revenue, service revenue, right? It initially records them as assets and records unearned revenues as liabilities. Oh yeah, no, that's correct. And then same thing here, under the method that expenses and revenues, adjusting entries at the end of the year, right? And if there's no entry required, just put no entry required. Okay. So that one should, hopefully that one didn't set you back. If that freaked you out, I'll go over it in class. Here they are, explanation. Prepaid advertising, prepaid insurance, unearned revenue, prepaid consulting, right? And then in 2, prepaid insurance, all that kind of stuff. Oh, I feel like I go too fast sometimes, but I suppose it doesn't matter if you can just stop. But there they are in 1 and 2. That's 11. Let's get to 12. Here's 12. Unadjusted trial balance for Hawkeye ranges, presented as requirement 1. The following additional information relates to the requirement year-end adjustments. So complete the 6-column table by entering adjustments that reflect. Prepare journal entries for the adjustments. Prepare journal entries to reverse the effect of the adjusting entries. So the first is this partial worksheet that gets you to the adjusted trial balance, which should be hopefully, but you probably want to go do this first, well, no, actually not. Supplies expense and supplies, right? Interest expense, interest payable, unearned revenue, services revenue. There they are. Prepare journal for adjustments entered in the 6-column table. And here's the to reverse the effects of what happened at the next month, right? And here is cash payments and cash collections for January. Finally, right? So there they all are, and take a good look at that, and how that worked out with all of my adjustments in my trial balance. So again, tedious, but it's trying to get you to understand the entire accounting cycle, right? So that at the end of the month, you're reversing those entries. All right. I think that'll do it for this one. And I may put another tape up, but I'm going to put this one up just as soon as ASAP, as soon as I can get YouTube to accept it. And then I will do a chapter 4, I think. All right. I hope this helps. If it doesn't, please email me again, and I'll try and get more specific on what problems you might be having. So I'll post this both as an announcement, and I'll put it in the discussion tab. So enjoy your evening, Friday evening, and the rest of the weekend, and look forward to seeing you Monday.